Well, in answer to a bunch of questions that I've had on eBay, I'm going to show the truck a little bit more as far as the waste vegetable oil system that I have on the truck. This is my 2003 Ford F-350 with 7.3 diesel in it. By the way, it's not recommended at all that you run waste oil in 6.0s, but the 7.3 loves the stuff. So I'm going to show you, this is my truck here. I'll give you just a quick run around the truck. There's the truck. If you watch my other video, I showed some of the other parts of the truck. Oh, but everybody was interested in how the waste oil system works on this truck. I decided to save a little money because I always work on a budget, like most people, and I made my own system on this truck. When you want to switch to waste oil, you come over, and I know it's a little inconvenient sometimes, but you just pop the hood. And I've got some valves over here that are wrapped up and insulated right there. You just switch these valves over. There's the return and the main line. You turn off two of them, and you turn on the back two. And it's switched. There's a pump, fuel pump, one on the main tank and one on the oil tank. You just switch from back pump, front pump. And then when you want to switch back, you just go like that, and you go like this. So, and that's it. You just usually takes about 30 seconds to get out. Now, I've got the hot water antifreeze running back to the tank, and I put a couple of shut-off valves right off of the motor, just in case there's a problem if you spring a leak or anything like that. You can shut all that off, isolate the motor from the back, and so there's no problem losing any fluid. This motor here, like I say, has a lot of miles on it, 333,000. It runs good, doesn't use hardly any oil at all. Drives good. I put, just in the last couple of weeks, I put a new serpentine belt and all new idler pulleys on it because I had one that was rattling. So batteries are in good shape. I'll show you the back here. This is truck. Still got a little snow around here. In the back of the truck, you can see the waste oil tank. You put it in up there. I've got an actual connection, quick connect, like you'd have on a hydraulic hose, and I've got a big 250-gallon tote that I can set right in the back of here that hooks right up to that tank with a pump on it. And when I drove to Washington, D.C. this year, when this 40-gallon tank would get a little low, I just hit a little switch up front, and it would pump that full again. Over here, as you can see, I'm not going to get back in there, but there's a little pump up on top and it was originally a water filter, but if you put polyfilament plastic filters in there, that works great for waste oil. And then I've just wrapped copper tubing around and run radiator fluid through that copper tubing to heat that filter, and that works great. Usually I'll start it up in the morning. If it's real cold, like 20 or below, 20 degrees or down, I'll drive it 10 miles or so if I'm going on a long trip, and then I'll get out, switch it over, and then it runs fine after that. I always carry a spare polyfilament filter and a spare fuel filter. It's just the nature of the beast. When you're running oil, as good as you clean it, sometimes you have a problem. Now, I've got my process down to where I don't have much problems anymore. And I'm just going to show you real quick here, because someone else wanted to know how I filtered my oil. I just got a little building back here, and I bring the oil in here. Okay, I get it in these tanks. They're about 20 gallons apiece. Okay, I pump them out of these tanks into these filters. I let it. First of all, you got to let this settle for. Bring it in and sit here and let it settle in the heat. I got a little heater running. For 2-3 weeks is best, but a week will do it most of the time if it's warm out. You let it settle, you pump it in through these filters. These are 20 micron filters into this tank here. I let it settle in this tank. You can see it's almost full there. I let it set in this tank, and then I've got a place down in the tank there about 6 inches off the bottom of the tank with another valve which I can drain the bottom off. And then I pump that through just these pumps I got at Tractor Supply, these little giant pumps. They're 110, and I pump it through another filter here. It's originally a water filter, but then again it's got the, I'll show you the filters. This is the filters that I use, 5 micron. Okay, and I pump it through there into these tanks here, which is my clean. And then when I want to pump the truck up, I put it in here through another pump, just pump it in the truck. That's what I've done for years. You can get real complicated with this by getting everything out, but if you got a good supply of oil, now I get this from non-hydrogenated canola oil is what I have here. And you get a good supply of oil, good clean oil, let it sit. It'll eliminate 99% of your problems. These filters here, I buy from Complete Filtration. That's a fax number actually, but you can get a hold of them on the internet. And that's it. Once a year or so, I got a little washing machine out here, and when I use filters, takes me a couple days. I'll clean them all with. I use the hand cleaner and Tide. Seems to work the best. I put the bucket hand cleaner in there, and I use Tide. I clean them, and usually you can clean them 2 or 3 times before you have to replace them. That's it. Of course, there's always 6 inches or maybe a foot of oil at the bottom of them tanks. You can't use it all. That's no good. I dump in these. And then I've got a friend who comes and pumps this out and burns it in his shop in his waste oil furnace. And so hardly anything goes to waste. Anything that I just can't use, I take back to the hospital where I get my oil and dump in their grease tank. So nothing goes to waste. Anyway, that's how I do it. That's how I've been doing it. It works for me. Everybody's got their own way of doing it. Some other people may have better ways, but this seems to have worked for me all these years. I preach at this church here, Ravenwood Christian Church. Not that means anything, but that's where I'm at right now. Appreciate your interest in my truck.